So stick it.
Well, hello there, Skechers, my old friend. That's right, today on this video, I am reviewing the Skechers Razor 5. It's as if a bunch of nerds, candies, or confetti decided to make a shoe. I think that was the inspiration behind the Razor 5. Now, this colorway may not be for everyone, but they do have a couple other colorways that are a little more subdued, a little more normal. I think this is a pretty cool colorway. Really fun, and this is certainly a fun shoe, and we're going to talk about that. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I've got a lot of content coming your way, some review videos, shoes and gear to review, some run ventures and ultra races coming up as well, which I'm pretty excited about. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. Consider joining the channel membership, only $1 a month, and it just goes to support the channel and the inspiring things that I try to do here. Now I'd like to thank Skechers for sending me this pair of shoes for the purpose of review, but note that all thoughts and opinions are strictly my own. All the B-roll footage that you're about to see in this video was recorded after this run, so you're seeing the shoe in its true and current state. Typically, I like to get up to about 50 miles or so in a shoe before I review it. In full transparency, I did not do that in this shoe. I've got about 20-25 miles in the shoe. The only reason why I didn't go up to 50 is because, one, I didn't want to delay getting this review video out to you, but two, and more importantly, this shoe is extremely familiar. I really enjoyed the Razor 4, the previous version of this shoe. Now, 2 years later, is the Razor 5 a better shoe? What have they done to upgrade it? Well, not much at all. And that's okay. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to change up the format of this video. Typically, I talk about the build and the comfort, the performance and the value of the shoe. I think for this video, I want to break down the components of the shoe, starting with the upper, then the midsole, then the outsole. I'll talk about the build, the comfort, and the performance of each of those components. After that, I'll talk about the value of the shoe. But first, voiceover Chad, why don't you tell us about some of the specs and features of the Skechers Razor 5?
Skechers states, reach new speeds and superior comfort and performance technology wearing Skechers Go Run Razor 5. This lace-up running design features a breathable engineered mesh upper with a removable arch fit insole, an ultra-lightweight Hyper Burst Pro cushioned midsole, a Hyper Arc rocker bottom, and carbon-infused plate, plus a durable Goodyear rubber outsole. As for some of those specs and features, you do get a engineered mesh upper, Hyper Burst Pro TPU midsole, podiatrist certified arch fit insole, Hyper Arc rocker, which creates a smooth transition through toe off, carbon infused forefoot plate, Goodyear rubber outsole, 30 millimeters of heel stack, 26 millimeters of toe stack for that 4 millimeter drop, weighing in at 227 grams or approximately 8 ounces in a men's US 9 and a US MSRP of $130. Chad, back over to you.
All right, so you might be asking yourself, because I certainly did ask this question when I first opened the box, what in the world is the difference between the Razor 4 and the Razor 5? And I scoured the internet and I read the articles and I looked at both shoes. I compared both shoes. I still have the Razor 4. I'll show you some B-roll here. And I couldn't find the slightest difference. So I don't know if this is lazy marketing on Skechers' part or something really intuitive and smart that they've done by rebranding the same shoe. So does that make the Razor 5 behind its times? Actually, no. I think the Razor 4 was ahead of its time, and the Razor 5 is now just right there competing with the best of them. The Razor 4 versus the Razor 5, they have the same upper material, the same build, the same midsole material, the same outsole rubber, the same stack, the same carbon H plate, everything is the same. The only difference I could find is right along the eyelet chain. They just changed these overlays just a tiny bit. Other than that, and the colorway, it's exactly the same. I'm okay with that, and it's one that I still really enjoy. It was my favorite shoe to run in 2 years ago, and I can tell it's still one of my favorite shoes to run in now. I felt like I was reunited with a best friend, and nothing had changed. We just picked up right where we left off. Now, the last thing that I want to mention about the Razor 4, and this translates into the Razor 5 build quality overall. I went about 450 to 500 miles in the Razor 4, and the underfoot feel, that TPU midsole, still felt just as good, just as soft, just as lively and bouncy as it did on day one. Just the same as it does in this shoe now, with just a handful of miles on it. The only thing that I noticed was a little bit of wear on the fabric around the ankle, and of course the outsole rubber started to wear thin in places. Other than that, it's held up really nicely, and I think that's a testament to how well this shoe is going to last for you. So starting with the upper, all in all, I really like the upper. I wouldn't say it's perfect though. Now, that mono mesh upper material, it is really breathable, very lightweight, and does a really good job at holding your foot in place without having to over tighten the laces. The tongue is densely but thinly padded. It is not gusseted, which I think is one of the biggest shortcomings of the tongue. I'll show you. You can see here on the shoe that the tongue is starting to drift over to my right just a little bit. Overall, that's not too much of a problem, because after all, I am 16, almost 17 miles into my run, and I have not adjusted the tongue once, so until just now. The laces are somewhat thin, but comfortable. They stay tied, they're slightly stretchy, not a lot, but just enough to offer just a little bit more comfort. But around that midfoot and the ankle as well, I feel like Skechers really did a supreme job in that fit. They really made it so that it's gonna hold your foot nice and snug. The heel has a little bit of structure, just enough structure to hold your heel in place. There's some nice padding along the ankle and the heel, but no rubbing at all in the Achilles or around the ankle bones or anywhere around the foot. I've experienced no hot spots, no rubbing, no irritations anywhere in this shoe at any point. Same goes with the Razor 4, no matter how long the run was or what type of run I was doing. Now, my only gripe or something that's worth noticing is that the toe box does not offer a lot of room. My average to narrow foot feels very comfortable in the shoe, but if you have a wide foot at all, this shoe may not do it for you. I do wish there was a little bit more room in the toe box, although it does give you a very good sporty kind of fit and feel. So the upper is built really well. It's gonna last a long time, no concerns with that at all. It's comfortable and very lightweight. All right, moving down the shoe just a little bit, that insole is nice, offers good immediate cushioning and support for your foot. The insole is their arch fit technology, which is supposed to be podiatrist, why can't I say that? Certified, which means it's going to work well with many feet, and I found it to be quite comfortable. It did not offer too much arch support, which I appreciate. And then moving down, kind of the star of the show, that TPU beaded midsole is amazing. That Hyper Burst Pro midsole is not the softest on the market, but I feel like Skechers balanced the right amount of softness and bounce or responsiveness. The midsole cushioning is just soft enough to keep you comfortable on pretty much all of your runs. It's an easy midsole to run very casually in. However, it is extremely rewarding and bouncy when you need it to be. The more you put into it, the more it just seems to give back, kind of encouraging you to run faster. And I really like that about the shoe. From a performance aspect, it means that this shoe becomes a universal daily trainer, and one that you can also do your speedy runs in. And then of course, as experienced in the Razor 4, the Hyper Burst Pro midsole is going to last a very long time. It's gonna feel just as good on day 1 as it does on mile 400. Now by today's standards, it is not a high stack shoe, 30 millimeters in the heel with that 4 millimeter drop. But that does mean that you get good ground feel and contact, but there's still enough underfoot to keep things comfortable no matter how long the run. Again, I'm about 17, almost 18 miles into my run today, and my feet are feeling great. Some of you who are used to a much higher stack, a more plush underfoot feel, may find this midsole to not offer quite enough underfoot softness. Frankly, I think you'll quickly get over that because the midsole just feels good. Makes you feel alive. Now this shoe does offer a carbon H plate in that forefoot, and frankly, I don't even notice it. I'm not even sure it's doing anything, but supposedly it's there. And that's not necessarily a bad thing that I don't notice it. And then you get that rocker, which is kind of that curve from heel to midfoot through the toes. I feel like Skechers really nailed it on that rocker shape. It really helps to transition you particularly from midfoot through toe off. It also feels really good if you're a little bit of a heel striker. It's just nice and smooth, but very rewarding. It helps to get you quickly into your toes, especially when you start picking up the pace. And then as we move down just a little bit to that outsole rubber, you get a Goodyear rubber outsole, and the rubber is placed strategically on the shoe in places where you're going to need a little bit of extra durability or grip, but also exposed in places where you don't need the rubber as to help keep the weight down. All right, so to recap all of that real quick, upper build quality and comfort, very good. I wish there was just a little bit more room in the toe box. The midsole, that Hyper Burst Pro midsole, is amazing. Not the most plush, but comfortable enough, and certainly dynamic and fun and responsive and bouncy. And then that rocker shape with the carbon H plate just really rewards every foot strike, and a good solid Goodyear rubber. This is a shoe that I look forward to running in every day. It's the shoe that I want to grab to go for my next run in. It's become one of the shoes that is a do-it-all trainer. Slow runs, no problem. Long runs, you got it. Fast runs, yep, let's go. All right, I pulled my phone out because I just love the views of these mountains. That was Horsetooth Mountain that you just saw there. Those are the foothills that I often go running in, you know, Coyote Ridge and whatnot. You got Signal Peak back there with a little bit of snow on it. And then now we are entering part of the Rocky Mountains, Rocky Mountain National Park rather. That there is Long's Peak, Colorado's most northern 14er. And if you continue scanning down, eventually you'll get down to Boulder and the Flatirons, which are somewhere clear out, you know, yonder, probably behind that barn there. But just beautiful, beautiful mountains. I love living here in northern Colorado along the Front Range. Just beautiful mountains, I love it. All right, back to the video. So now let's talk about the value of the Razor 5. At $130 US MSRP, I feel that that is a phenomenal value and a great buy. When most shoes are going for 150 to 180 or more dollars for just a good daily trainer, $130 is an amazing price. Again, it's one of those shoes that you can use for those daily miles, for those long runs, and of course those speedier workouts. You're getting a shoe that's gonna last a long time and has innovation and technology that some shoes aren't even offering on the market today. The Razor 5 is a shoe that I enjoy more than a lot of the other shoes I've reviewed here on the channel. I like it more than the Hoka Clifton and the Ultra Forward Experience line. I find it more fun and engaging to run in than a lot of Nike's shoes. It has a better fit than craft shoes. It's just a really good shoe, and if you haven't gathered, It's one that I recommend. So now I'll turn it over to you. I want to know what you think about the Razor 5. Did you run in the Razor 4? What did you think about it? Did you like it? And is this a shoe that you are now considering? And of course, if you have other questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you as well. Hey there, neighbor.
Morning.
How far are you going today?
Oh, just probably down to the corner.
Hi, guys. Say hi. You remember me?
Hey. Having a good run, Chad?
Yeah, it's a great run. Beautiful morning.
Yes, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah. Have a good one. I'll see ya. A couple big Great Danes. They're just big, cuddly dogs. I think they're a lot smaller than they truly are. Now that I got distracted by the neighbor's dogs and I'm really close to the house, less than half a mile, I guess we gotta wrap up this video. So, give the video a like, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Again, I've got a lot more content coming your way. I appreciate you for joining me today. We'll leave off this video as we always do. Remember to be consistent, express gratitude, and enjoy every mile, as I have today in the Razor 5. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.